Alright, before I start my demonstration today, people ask me what is the material that I put it underneath of my bed. So I want to show you what is this. This is called bed gripper. It's usually you put it underneath of the bed so you have you create more friction, so your bed doesn't move while you are throwing it. This material actually you can buy it from a retail store, Amazon.com or Walmart. They have it. They sell the sheet like 14 by 17 inches wide, and I just use a scissor to cut into the circle shape. And for the larger bed, I have a larger one, and a smaller bed for a smaller one. And just pump, use the scissors to cut to hold that. It will just fit into the bed pin here. That material, if you want to look at the retail store, is called absorber. Okay, ABSORB, absorber. And just Google search it, it should pop out. Right. So and then usually when I'm throwing the smaller pieces, I prefer using a smaller bed so that it will save some room. So I convert my wheel head into a smaller bed by just drilling holes and then put the thread on the holes. And the smaller bed pin here, I cut it shorter so I don't need to screw it all the way. So I put a thread here versus the wheel that come with it. They don't have a thread, so you just put it there. But I think that with the thread it's easier. You can just screw it in. You don't need to tighten it. So it's going nowhere. And just put this right there. And of course, when it's dry, it's like this. Okay. But once you wet it, it's soft and it's create more friction. A smaller bed, just fit it in the wheel head here. Right, and with that bed gripper, or you call it absorber, your bed is very steady without moving. My demonstration today also a lidded jar with a different lid. Okay, I show you in my previous video. Simply just making a shallow bowl, but this one I will put a gallery on the lid and keep the rim simple rim, but a little bit more complicated on the lid. And this piece of clay is about 2.5 pounds. So I'm showing you one hand centering using my left hand. Right, on the right hand. The fingertips are very powerful. Okay, so centering is not that difficult as long as you brace. See that I'm bracing my arm here. That's the left. That's right. Also bracing my arm on the splash pan at the center. Okay. So if you have both hands, it's even easier. Left hand push onto my right hand, and then the right hand is guiding it. The right fingertip is guiding it. Okay. drill using my thumb. I open the small cup, and then I'm going to use my left hand drill. So this is the left hand without bracing. As long as you can stabilize your arm, you can still drill. Okay, of course you have both hands, so it will be even easier. Make sure it is slippery. So put my right hand here, support it, and hang my thumb on the back of my right hand, and then drill while the wheel spinning. And once I reach to the right thickness, slowly spread it out. Unless you are making a bowl, otherwise make sure the base is flat. And you don't need to spin the wheel the whole very fast. You see that my wheel speed is not that fast. I compress the button a couple times, moving the finger slowly from the center toward the side, and then from the side toward the center. Okay, so you can watch it from the above camera, see what my fingers doing. These two fingers from the center toward my right. Right, and then compress it and squeeze it. The bottom, this finger is squeeze it so the base is smaller, a bit smaller. The slip, okay, it's good stuff. If you don't have a lump, okay, if you have lump, don't use it. But if you don't have a lump, remove from fingertip and then coat it back to the surface. And a little bit of water and put it on the surface. That's all you need. So you see that when I'm throwing, my splash pan is very dry because the water is not going from here and then going down to the splash pan, because I use a lot of a slip instead of a water. Okay. If I need water, just a tiny little bit and mix with the slip. That's all. Usually a lot of people have the clay in the bottom corner without moving it up. So actually you can squeeze it. Okay, couple ways to do it. Okay, you can use this finger, just move it slowly. Of course, you see that I'm bracing my arm right on the splash pan. Or you can use the finger here, hold it here, and then the fingertip, just move it. So you are squeezing the clay so that there's a little belly here, and then you just try to push the clay from the belly and squeeze it up and pull it up. Make sure it's slippery though. Connect the arm, the finger, left hand inside. This is short, so extend my thumb and touch here on my right hand. My right hand is tucked into my elbow, okay? And everything connect together, stabilize together. Now when you lift it up, you bring up a lot of slip. Okay, and don't put it away. Put it back to work. Especially, it's good for inside. So remove from your fingertip and then just coat it on the inside of the wall so that you don't have so much water, a big puddle inside the hole if you are using the slip instead of water. And remove a little bit and a bit water here, just coat it outside. And if you have slip on your bed, bring it up and then coat it. I'm making a Liddid jar, so I still want to control the rim so that the rim doesn't go too wide and too thin. So make it smaller. Right, start to shape it now. I think the wall is thin enough, so I'm going to start to stretch it. But first, I like to remove my throwing mark. So just bring the wooden rib. So the inside finger, if you can see that where the spot has no clay, that's the spot that is touching inside of the wall. Slightly push out using the pad of my fingertip, and then the rib outside is just guiding it. Basically, it's inside doing the job to stretch it. The outside, you don't need to push too much. Okay, too much. Now you can chop the clay off the corner so that you have more clear view of the whole proportion. Right, and then I bring my metal rib to do the final shaping. Especially if I bend the rib, I will have a better curve and also the better surface. Right, so this is the cover job without putting gallery. This is the usual way I prefer when I'm making a Liddid jar. Keep this part simple and then put a gallery on the lid. And also the neck here, I call this neck, okay, should be shorter. You don't want to be the neck too long, okay, because if that's too tall, the whole piece doesn't look right. So keep that part a bit shorter. Okay, before I remove, make sure, check the width. Okay. Since I'm making the lid upside down, meaning I will trim the knob later on, so I don't need the base so wide. So I'm bringing it in like making a donut, okay, donut. So smaller here, a little bit wider here. And again, just like making a shallow bowl, but with the rim a bit thicker. Keeping this part a bit thicker, so I'm compressing it. And using the depth thumb, this cover is very good. Just fit in right there for the lid. And you want to push down a little bit deeper. You don't want the this part here too shallow, because otherwise you will have your lid too thick. So a little dome, and it looks nice to complement the body. Okay, so you want to make sure that this part here curve, okay, instead of a flat curve, a little bit deeper. Right, so it's about right. And then I will use, again, to compress the gallery for, I'm using the wooden rib 90 degrees. Make sure that this 90 degrees is a nice 90 degrees, okay? If you have too much curve here, get a sandpaper, you sand it down, okay? You sand here and sand there. So you want to have a nice corner here, okay? Nice corner here. Sandpaper will take care of it. This is made out of wood. Right, so that's where I'm going to compress. Okay. I'm going to use the finger to kind of squeeze a little indentation using this two finger here. Hold it and compress it, and then just my right index finger here and squeeze a little bit so you get an idea where you are going to use the wooden rib to compress your gallery. And again, put in the finger to control, and then the 90 degrees of the wooden rib to push down. And if that is too wide, okay, this is not too wide, If it is too wide, squeeze it in. But now it's a bit too short, so I'm going to stretch it out a bit. Okay, that's about right. And the rim here is a little bit thick, so I'm going to pull it out, make it thinner, and then cut it. You don't have so much hanging out, okay? The hanging out too much, it look like a hat, okay? Just enough. So you see there's a still fairly thick here. Either way, you can trim it later when it's that hard, you trim it. Or if it bothers you, you can use the wooden knife to just remove. Right, so that's the simple rim, but a little bit complicated on the lid with the gallery, upside down lid with the gallery. I'll trim the knob later. Right, hope this helped, and see you next time.